Have you noticed that bigger companies can actually ship new features in the blink of an eye, whereas it takes a lot of other companies a lot longer than that? And especially if you talk about smaller teams or teams with limited resources, they're not able to prioritize that aspect at all, even. But tech giants in the space are able to do that very, very regularly. And they're able to do that partly because of platform engineering. At its core, platform engineering is about building an internal platform for your development team that they can use to make their jobs easier. Think of it like a one stop shop for all the needs of your developer team regarding infrastructure, the tools, the environment, all of these things. So your developers actually they don't have to reinvent the wheel or set up their own infrastructure for every single project they have to work on, because platform engineering takes care of that. Now let's break it down a little bit. Platform engineers are going to be the ones responsible to set up this platform for your development team. So they're going to create reusable components, they're going to maintain a system that developers can tap into that scales very well as the needs arise. Now this allows your team to actually focus on what they do best, which is write good code and ship features. Sounds great, right? Well, of course, you might have guessed, setting up an internal platform is going to be extremely resource and time intensive. So not all of us have a 10, 15 or 20 engineer team waiting on standby to build a platform for our developers. So that's one, highly resource intensive. Number two, time intensiveness. If you actually look at what it takes to build a platform even for your internal purposes, you know that it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of iterations. So there's a lot of back and forth that goes into it, and a lot of testing that's going to go into a platform that's scalable, that's available for your developers when they actually need it, even if it's an internal platform. One of the key benefits of platform engineering is, of course, a lot of speed. If it's done right, if it's set right, your developers they don't have to focus on building development pipelines or handling those. So and that means basically they can move a lot faster. But then on the other side, these platforms which are built internally, they can feel a little bit stiff for your developers actually, and they might actually feel that if the project is changing fast, if the needs are changing fast, they are not getting the flexibility the way they need it. Because once it is set, every single time they need a little bit of flexibility rather than the traditional ways that have to go through the platform engineering team and kind of move upon a couple of iterations and do all of that. So it can also hamper speed if the needs are very flexible. So that's what platform engineering is, an internal infrastructure for your developers so they can do their job well. Now, at middleware, you don't get platform engineering. However, you do get DORA metrics, flow metrics, bottleneck analysis, and 10 other things that can actually help you do the same job, right? So looking at your DORA metrics, which is, by the way, on middleware, DORA metrics are open source. So you can just go to the GitHub repository, set it up locally, and you're all set. No need of anything else, no dependencies whatsoever. So set that up. But then if you look at flow metrics and if you look at bottleneck analysis, so for example, if you're in middleware, you'll be able to see who is that one person in your team that everybody relies on for the code review process, and are they acting as a bottleneck. If they're acting as a bottleneck, you'll be able to see that visually, and that one single insight alone can help you figure out, is there any other code expert available in my team who I can leverage for the first review process, opening up the bottleneck. So that's just one of the insights that's very easily available within middleware out of the box. Now, when I'm talking about out of the box, one great thing that you can do, and by the way, I'm going to leave the link to middleware in down below. Go to demo.middlewarehq.com. It's a live demo available for you to just play around with, and you'll see what kind of insights you can get and achieve engineering productivity, achieve a little bit of a smoother roadway for your engineering team as well, kind of on the similar lines of platform engineering without the intensive resource and time and all of those things. If you don't have that, this is going to change how your software engineering pipeline looks.